Okay, here you see my 4K setup. It's a 60 hertz IPS LG monitor. It's pretty good. It's lasted me quite a while, but I think it's an upgrade. I got the new speakers. It is a 32 gig RAM M1 Max Studio, but I'm going to change it out with this monitor. And I got the Asus ROG Strix OLED, and it's a 240 hertz. So I'm going to do an unboxing, and then I'll put it together. So, a nice thing about having a face tracking, human tracking DJI Osmo Creator Combo or Pocket 3 Creator Combo is I can show you some things with an unboxing. So, nice little package. It's pretty well situated. As you can see in the top, they got the base plate for the monitor. They got the mount for the back, which is also for, and I'm thinking about that, not using the stand, but using, set up with an arm instead. Now, Asus usually has a circular mounting bracket. I'll try this first, and then I'll decide if this is good enough. I don't believe this goes up and down, but it will tilt. But let's see what I can do with this. So it's a QD OLED, 4K, 24-inch, and you can see this nice little bracket. It's plastic, metal right here, and it does go up and down. Okay, but I have to put on the monitor first. Okay, this, okay, I think goes like this. All right. Monitor itself, if you look at it, I got the ports. So, input for USB 2. Three USB 3s, and then 2 HDMIs and a display port. Also a USB-C. So if you have an Apple, I think you can connect it here, but I also have display port to USB-C also, or Thunderbolt. So that would work also. The computer I have is HDMI 2. So it's only, I think, up to 120 hertz. With the new Thunderbolt 3 and 4, I think you can get, well, you know, if you have HDMI 2.1, you'll get the 240 hertz. But it depends on what type of USB-C port. So if you had the 40 gigabyte, then it should be no problem, you know, with the Thunderbolt. But if you have like the Thunderbolt 2, then you're limited, okay? So anyway, I do have a cable to the display port, which is a 2.1 on here. It worked with my other Mac Studio, but what I was noticing is when I was running at 240 hertz from the Thunderbolt to the display port, there's a lot of stuttering. So I just backed it down to 120 hertz and everything was fine. I could have just used the regular HDMI cable and it would have worked fine. So anyway, the peel. No, I'm going to wait till last on that. I am going to now, it's real nice. I think this lights up once it's plugged in. So let's do this. I am going to take off the back though. And let's see, anything else? I think I will put the mount on first. This is for the VESA mount, I believe. Yeah. So whatever mount you get, you just put the screws here. And then this will go in here. So I'll say this. I'm going to see how the stand works. And if it's okay, then I'll just use the stand. If not, I'll have to go back to the store to get me a mount, which I totally forgot to get because I bumped into my nephew and we chatted for about an hour and a half at Best Buy. But, and I think I made him late toward his doctor's appointment. But, you know, when you see relatives you haven't seen for a while, you just forget about time. So anyway, I think it goes like this. Yep. Okay, there you have it, mount. And then just snaps in place, I believe. Yeah, in and then out. And there you have it. Swivels and just goes up and down, okay? It is kind of fat, you know, at the end, but with a 240 hertz, I don't care. Once I plug everything in, it should light up. And once I have everything hooked up, I will then, so like the power cable, let me show you that real quick before I start removing the other monitor and stuff like that. So they got different packets. I like all this stuff. So like here's the power cord. There's a cloth, fiber cloth to clean. I don't think there's a brick. All right, so it's just a straight plug, which is nice. Then of course you have your USB-C from your computer to the monitor. Okay, I got a connection for that. Let's see. Yeah, display cable, manuals, install guide real quick. This is the XG27UCDMG series. Okay. It has a USB 3.2 cable. Okay. Which is USB-C. All right. So I think the 3.2 may be a 40 gigabyte, if I'm correct. It's either that or 10 gigabyte. But anyway, Apple should handle it. And then of course the HDMI cable. And okay, so let me unhook the other monitor. I'll hook up everything else up first, and then we'll have the final peel of the reflective in the front. I'll turn it on and we can take a look at the if there's any LEDs and stuff.